Hey there folks, welcome back to another episode. Very exciting day today here in rustic Mallorca because we are finally, after many years, going to upgrade our solar power setup. As you know, we're off grid. The only electricity we've got comes from the solar panels, which you can just see up on the roof behind me there. And the original installation is probably about 16 years old. And to be honest, it was always a bit too small. It was intended really initially just for sort of weekend use. We've replaced the batteries once, and now it's got to the point where we need to replace them again. But to be honest, we're just going to go for a full-on upgrade, get some more modern tech involved, get that installed. So we've had a few quotes. We're in a position where we're almost ready to go. But before we do that, we're going to have a talk through the current setup, and then I'll explain what the new setup's going to look like and the work that I need to do to get ready to prepare the roof for the new panels that are coming. So with all that said, let's crack on with the walk around. Right then, so here we are up on the roof. You can see the 4 solar panels we've got here now. They're 180 watt each, and like I said, they're about 16, 17 years old, so pretty old school tech compared to what's available now. I've got this framing, this sort of angle. As you can see, they're galvanized, which is all over the place. I got skewed it into the sides of the house and got it sort of set. The panels, we face south, and the panels are sort of elevated to try and make the most of the sun as it sort of pans round. The new setup is going to go in all this area here. I think we're going for 8 panels. I can't remember actually, 8 or 10. This area here is where they're going to go, and they're going to sit flat down to the roof, which is obviously a lot more aesthetic. And one of the things I need to do will be to lift up these tiles and cement underneath the whole row, make it really solid so when they screw down into it, it's not going to break. As it is now, these all just lift up. We need to get on with taking all this down and taking it downstairs, getting out of the way, ready for when the new ones come. We'll have to set it up somewhere else on the ground floor and rewire it all in so we've got electricity in the meantime. But yeah, that's the panel setup. Before we pop down off the roof, let's have a quick 360 and I'll show you the views. There's the closest village where the kids go to school, supermarket and stuff. About 4 or 5 k's away. Right, let's pop down and check out the little area where I keep the inverter and the batteries and everything. Right, so in here is where we keep the batteries, the inverter, the converter, and also a battery charger. So I'll let you have a look. Right then, so this is the little setup we've got going on. We've got 6 batteries, 2 volts each, so it's a 12-volt setup. Distilled water that needs popping in every so often, minimum maximum levels. Your sort of traditional, standard, old-school lead-acid type of battery. They're all obviously connected to give the 12 volts. The big red box is a battery charger, so inside the house we've got a dual switch that when the battery level drops too low, we flip the switch. Well, we've got to turn the generator on, but we flip the switch and then it's generator only. This charger here runs directly off the generator. So when the generator is on, it's powering the house and it's also powering the charger, which is putting a bit of charge back in the batteries. So when we turn the generator off, we've obviously got enough battery power to maybe last through the night, you know, a few light bulbs when we go to the bathroom, stuff like that. These cables here come down off the roof, round, you know, through a series of conduits, and then come in here, and they enter over there where we've got the shut-off switch, so we can shut the solar panels off directly if we want. And then they come up into this box here. Now this is a charge controller. This converts photovoltaic energy into DC. So power comes in from the solar panels, and it comes out and goes directly to the batteries, the positive and the negative terminal at either end. It's a 40 amp controller and it's currently charging at 5 amps and we have a total of 12 volts in the batteries. It's November, it's about 9:30 in the morning, so there's not a lot of power in the sun. We've got some stuff in the house obviously turned on, kids are watching the telly and the like, which is why the volts is obviously, you know, sitting on just on 12. By the middle of the day, it's probably going to get to about 12.3, 12.4. 12.7 is totally full. We never get there. We've got too much. There's too small a setup, and we've got too much stuff, plugged in the house. 11.7 is completely drained. So ideally, 12 is as low as you want to go, 30%. That's the ideal situation. Then we've got another cable. These two cables that come off the batteries again. This here, this is a pure sine wave inverter, and this converts the 12 volt DC into your 240 volt for use in the house AC. And it's a 1500 watt, so it can handle things like light bulbs, TV, laptops. 1500 isn't a lot, so small blenders and kitchen appliances is fine. It won't run a kettle, it won't run the dishwasher, and it won't run the washing machine on a hot cycle. Anything to do with heating water or heat in general, we've got no chance. But thankfully, here in Mallorca, we're not too fussed about that. And then this just plugs in and it leads off into the house to give us power. So that's the current setup as it stands. What we're going to do today to kick off the whole project is we're going to get back up on the roof and we're going to remove the panels and all the framing from the roof and put them over on the concrete hard standing behind us here, and then reconnect them up to the current setup. That way the roof's all free so we can begin the work, and then when the guys come, they don't have to, it's not going to be in the way and they don't have to mess around taking it down. We can just remove the batteries and everything out of this cupboard and get it all ready for putting the new gear in. We'll talk about what the new installation is involved when the time comes, because I honestly can't remember off the top of my head. So for now, we're going to get up on the roof, we're going to start taking the panels down. Right, we've put the scaffolding together just so it's a bit easier to get up onto the roof and pass everything back down again. I'm just going to trim a few bits of the bougainvillea that are still coming over so I just don't get spiked in my eye or whatever. God, the spikes are mental. Okay, there we go. Right, got a clear way now, so it should be a lot more straightforward. We can get up on the roof and start dismantling stuff. Right then folks, here we are up on the roof. We've waited till it's a little bit later in the day just so the batteries can get a decent charge before I start disconnecting stuff. All the bolts I've been around and checked and they're all 10mm and pretty rusty, so I'm going to go around and give everything a bit of a spray, the old WD penetrating fluid, just to get things a bit lubed up so it makes my life a bit easier. Right, that's that taken care of. So now we can wait a little bit, let the penetrating fluid do its work. Missing. In the meantime, we'll pop over the side there and disconnect the solar panels from the cables that go down into the battery room. Right, so all the cables come into this box here, and I bet you any money in the world there's a wasp nest in there. There always is. So we just got to unscrew these things. This one too, this one as well. Just keep it closed, just in case there is a lot of wasps. I've got some wasp spray just in case. Let's have a look. Slowly. Oh, there is a wasp's nest, look. I'll tell you what, let's get it sprayed up while we can. Right, we can remove some of this wasp's nest now. Most of them are dead. Or dying on the floor there anyway. There it is. Look at all that, there's loads. And a big bit here. I'm surprised they don't electrocute themselves. I honestly don't know how it works, but right, let's clean that out now. Okay, so what's left of the honeycomb there. A few dead wasps. At least they didn't get stung. Right, so it looks as though all the lives are connected here to the black wire that goes through this tube and down to the batteries. And all the blue ones are connected to that wire. I think if I disconnect them all here, I'll be able to just slot them all back in place. It's just a screwdriver there, look. Right then. Okay, there's one. Oh man, that was tight. Okay, there we go. That's two. So we can pull the cables through from here now. One, two. Right, so now the solar panels are basically now free from the house. So we can carry on and keep disconnecting. Just remove this bit of tape here. Alright, sound. So now we can just pull them all through. And that's everything. Basically, that cable's that one front panel there. Pull these out of here. That cable's this back panel. That one goes all the way over there, and the other one goes all the way over there. So all four panels are basically now loose. We'll keep all the gubbins for this safe, and we'll start stripping some bolts. Right, so these two panels are bolted to these two sort of diagonal rails, and the same on the other side. So I'm thinking I can keep this in place, not remove the actual panel from the framework, just remove these diagonal pieces that come down and try and take them away as two in a solid piece to try and save a bit of time. I should only need to remove the four bolts then. So we'll try that first. Nice and steady, don't want it to try and avoid snapping it. That's it for ages here. Snap the bolt. I honestly don't think any of these bolts are going to survive, but we'll persevere. Nope. Okay. Snapped again. At least it's loose. Oh man. Right, let's carry on regardless. What other choice do we have? Wow, that's tough. Oh, another one split. They've definitely had it, these things. Right, last one left for this side. Another tile broken. God damn it. And it's broken again. There we go. Just ditch these things. Right, we'll slowly maneuver it down to the flat spot. perfect. We're clear of the frame now. I had the bits underneath getting stuck as we were going, so it should be a bit more straightforward. Right, that's the first one down. Got this thing here twisting it, you see. This one too. Just push it up out the way. It's got to go this way. Oh, look at that, in fact. Oh my good Lord, I've never noticed that before. Let me show you this. Right, so this is the cable, and it is completely disintegrated. Just rotted away to nothing. So no wonder we weren't getting full charge. And that's ridiculous. And the crazy thing is, on the other side, we've got exactly the same deal. The brown's fine, but the blue is just completely disintegrated to nothing. So no wonder we weren't getting any charge. I wonder if the other one's the same. My Lord, it's definitely time. Just shows it's definitely time for an upgrade. Let's get the other one stripped. Right, let's have a look again. Look at that, totally done again, just in bits. And this side is exactly the same. No wonder why they weren't charging properly. So for ages we've noticed a decline in the amount of amps the panels are producing and sending to the batteries. It's not the main reason why we're changing. It's a reason, but not the main reason. The main reason being that we just don't have enough electricity. We've got an LPG powered fridge. It's like our lifelong dream to actually just put a normal fridge in. And unfortunately with this setup we just couldn't do that. However, now it's clear why we've been struggling, with electricity for so long. Looks like it's been knackered for ages. Anyway, I get a chance to rewire it now, I guess, and plug it all back in, but that's going to have to wait for tomorrow. The sun's setting, so this isn't really charging up anyway. We're going to finish out today by getting the panels down onto the floor there. We can deal with all this another day, or tomorrow probably, and then we can rewire everything in the morning as well, because the sun's not generating power anyway. You'll probably hear the generators running also. So let's get these down onto the floor. Oof. One down, one to go. Okie dokie, we'll leave them there like this for now, so that in the morning I can have a look and try and do some repair work on these cables here. And then we're just going to lie them down flat on the floor in this area, maybe use a bit of the angle we've got left just to give them a little bit of a slope. But then hopefully they'll be coming fairly sharpish to put the new panels in, so
we won't be rocking like this for too long. But yeah, in the meantime, we'll get it all back together. At least then we've got power while we're waiting for me to do the rest of the preparatory work on the roof there. We'll talk about that another day. The sun's setting and I'm done. Catch you on the next one.